For today's video, honestly, this one is a bit hard for me because there is another category on this list that is the best fight scene ever, and fight scenes are inherently epic. Well, when done correctly, they are. So for this slot, I decided to not only incorporate things like jaw-dropping action, but also on the definition of epic. The original meaning of epic is basically a long story or poem that often narrated deeds of heroes. Think the Epic of Gilgamesh if you want, or Superman. So with that in mind, how am I going to list an epic scene? To be honest, this was a hard one because there are so many. But of course my biggest problem was coming up with one I haven't mentioned yet. Darn those rules I made for myself sometimes. But then it hit me. Claymore. But more specifically, the fight between our main character Claire and Ophelia, one of the strongest claymores there is. So what's Claymore? Claymore is a series that came out in 2007. It was one of the first adult manga series I actually read as a teenager. The series got an anime adaptation a couple years later, and even though it branched away from the original manga source material, it ended up being a really good action series. The series revolves around Claire, a woman who is half monster, and her full human companion Rocky. Known as a claymore, or a silver-eyed witch, she is paid to go around the world and kill yomas, or monsters in this world, with her large sword. One day she is summoned to kill an awakened being, or a yoma, who has reached their full potential in strength and hunger for human flesh. Along with Claire, Ophelia is summoned. Ophelia is one of the strongest claymores from the organization. However, she's also cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She puts Rocky and Claire in danger for a sadistic game of beat the clock before she kills the awakened being. This isn't the epic scene that I want to talk about though, even though it is quite epic, but it does add to the importance of the scene later on. You see, later on, Claire loses one of her arms, but gets a new one from a retired claymore in order to learn the quick sword technique, as well as to, get an arm. Gotta hand it to her. During this time, Ophelia awakens into an awakened being due to the monster half of her and goes in search of flesh to feed her hunger. Yum! Then she comes across Claire, who by law has to kill her. The fight scene ensues is what's epic. Maybe not by Dragonaball super standards in the animation department, but in story in general, and as I said, it sticks to the epic definition. This fight not only puts one of the strongest claymores against the weakest claymore, but also shows the struggle that Ophelia herself is going through as she comes to terms with what she has become. During the fight, she also struggles with her humanity and tries to gain it back as a last-ditch effort to die in peace. This fight scene not only shows the determination that Claire has, as well as showing her new gained abilities, it also tells you a story that makes you feel bad, actually, for this very sadistic character. It's also epic because, as I said, Claire is the weakest claymore in the group of 87, and she takes on an awakened being all by herself. She does this in order to not only save Ophelia and give her back her humanity, but also to protect Rocky and all the humans that Ophelia could eat. If that's not the definition of epic storytelling, I'm not quite sure what is.